Okay, here's an African violet confession, what my wife and I wish we knew before we started growing African violets. And we're going to share this with you because this is just a few quick common mistakes to avoid, because a lot of people have challenges trying to really grow African violets. A lot of people don't bother, they give up on it or don't even try. So I'm going to go through and talk about some of these common mistakes. This is just a flyover. I'm by no means an expert. My wife and I, we have these in our house. We have a lot of other plants, but these were ones that presented challenges that she had to figure out. Number one, here's the biggest common mistake by far, is overwatering. African violets like consistent moisture, but they don't want to be overwatered. And you always want to allow the soil to dry at least an inch down, but to hydrate from the bottom by putting water in the dish and let the plants take it up through their roots. So much better than trying to do it from the top, because the number two thing is, big mistake, if you water from the top and you get a lot of water on the leaves, they don't like that at all. And it can really cause some problems with leaf scarring. So you do not want to water out of the leaves and get a lot of water splashing on there. A lot of people make this mistake. This is one we made early on, using tap water. Especially if you don't let it sit for 24 hours to allow the chlorine to dissipate. But tap water has chlorine in it, and that's going to cause a problem. And it's going to cause some really difficulty with your plants. So no tap water. Here's one. We live now in the Southwest United States, hence the cowboy hat. Just got back from a hike outside. Here's the thing. We have very little humidity here. So we had to find a place in the house where there was plenty of humidity. And then a place we could find that had the highest amount of humidity besides the bathroom, which doesn't have any windows, because we had to go with the kitchen, because we do a lot of cooking there. But they like about 40 to 60% humidity. They really do well. And that could be a challenge. A lot of people ignore that. This is number four, using cold water. Don't shock your plants with cold water. They like lukewarm, room temperature water. Very important. And this is another big one. Common mistake is they use regular potted or standard potting soil. No. For African violets, you need very specialized, well-draining potting mixtures for these plants. And you might want to do a little research on that before you just buy potting soil, because they take a real different type of soil that's going to drain. I think you can find those in any store that sells plant materials. Over fertilizing. Use fertilizer especially formulated for African violets, because some of the others that you might use might be too much. And start out using half strength just to make sure. All right, that's so important. Here's another big mistake. A lot of people like us, we didn't know we had to repot every 6 to 12 months, because you need to refresh the growing medium, and also the roots tend to get crowded just like any other plants. But every 6 or 12 months, you got to be doing that. You got to be repotting. Here's one. Ignoring the neck of the plant is right here. That should be covered. It shouldn't be exposed and let the plant grow up and have that neck really exposed. That's going to cause a lot of trouble. That can cause some structural weaknesses. So I hope some of those helps. Always in my blog, there's a lot more detail in there. African care guide. It goes through all the different things you need to do, common mistakes, and how to, continually care for your African violets, and actually how to propagate them. So anyway, hope this video helps. And all I can say is, don't be afraid of this plant. Just read up a little bit about it. And I think you're going to love having African violets in your house. God bless.